Okay. Oh, hi. Can you guys hear me and see me? Oh, cool. Awesome. Squeak, 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 squeak. So, hi, Cyan and Paulo and Otto and Jit and Patricia and Rhiannon. Hi. I hope you're having a good Saturday so far. Yeah. So I'm still setting up. Okay. I apologize for the squeaky chair again. Hi Zoe. Hi GR. JR. See, that's a funny thing with English and French is that you have in English I need a piece of paper here and a pencil. Come on, pencil. Okay, so you have J and G. That's in English, but in French, this is G and this is J. So it's always confusing. And I'm trying to go like, wait, G, J, and G, haha, got it, woohoo! So yeah, that's the fun tidbit for today. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, it's still a pre-stream, mind you, but yeah, I will remove it. Where is it? Where is it? Okay, so just to quickly show these things again. So that's in English, that's a J and that's a G. In French, that's a G and that's a J. So yep. Confusing. Hi Stephanie. And Chantal. Hi Dan. Okay, so here I have, yeah, of course. These are some of the swatches of the paints I mold this week, and I on purpose left a bit of the Potter's Pink there to dry to see if this batch I made would be wet as well as I remember the pigment from the previous batches. So I will test this right now. I mean, it's still Potter's Pink, so you still need to work it a bit to get some color out, but yeah, that's what it looks like for now. And if you let it sit with a bit of water, it's gonna get even darker. Slightly on the overexposed. Okay, hold on. Is that better? Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. Question, what colors pigment did you make? I made the Potter's Pink and I made Apricot. That's the orangey color here, that's Apricot, which is a mix. And that's the one, nope, that's not the one. Crud. It's on the other side of the card. Okay, yeah, good. So it's this one. So it's PW18, which is kind of a filler a bit. Like, I think it's chalk. There is on purpose a bit of chalk in this, but it still makes for a super nice paint. It's from the French Ochres Society, Société des Ocres de France, and yeah, so it's this chalky color. I think it's maybe it's kaolin clay. I just don't remember, but PR101 and PY42, and it makes this peachy orange color. Oh no! I didn't know there was a Visa card crashing thing. What happened? Oh, see you later, Paulo. Boredom is the bane of creativity. Yeah. Okay, so that's, I think I will, I'm just curious, I will take out my old pan from the first batch of Potter's Pink I did. Because you can never really account for, like, pigments, they may vary from one batch that you buy to the other. Yeah, this one is really easy to wet. I bought both from Cornelissen, but yeah, I guess I will have to see when my, I could try it now, but this is the test pan I made from the newest batch. It's not completely dry yet, it's still soft, but I'm really, yeah, it re-wets nicely, mind you, but it doesn't feel like it's gonna be like the first batch I did that was just super dark and easy to re-wet. But yeah, I guess I'll see. I really need this to dry down completely, and then I can test it and compare. It's still a pretty color. I really like it. I love how it granulates. Really strong granulation. Oh wow! Visa went down across Europe for like 12 hours. That's insane. That's so long. Oh yeah, okay. PW18 is chalk. It's really weird because this apricot color that has the chalk in it is not chalky at all. It's quite transparent and it's like really nice. So I am not quite sure what's the process. Hi Genevieve. Or Genevieve. It's a really hard name to say in English when you are used to it in French. Oh wow, Visa card crash in Europe. That's not good. That's really not good. How is the fatty tea working? It worked super well yesterday. Like I made a fatty tea after lunch, so I still had eaten, but usually when I eat lunch I'm hungry at like 4 or 5 p.m. and with the tea I was hungry at 7 p.m. So I think that's quite good. Is this the week where Grace isn't around for the live stream? I think so. Your half pans have magnet, only the ones in, well, not all of them, but I've glued magnets in my pans because of the tin they're in, but when I sell the paints they don't come with magnets because not everyone has a use for magnets, so I just sell the pans like you would buy any pans from like Sennelier or Winsor Newton or Schminke. So yeah, still hoping that this, but you know what? The older Potter's Pink I did seems to re-wet perhaps a bit easily, but it granulates a lot less than the new one. So if I have an issue with the re-wettability, I might just put it back on the slab and mull it again, see if making it a bit smoother will help with the re-wetting option. So yeah. Oh, okay, cool. The French way. Great news, Cyan. Okay, so I need to set up, right? Just gonna grab this paper because it's a really good workhorse paper, and I have some other paper in there that is not from Good Luck. Oh, thank you, Dan. Yeah, I saw that I just went over 6,000 subscribers, so thank you very much, everyone, for subbing and liking my content. Okay. Sub the love, yeah. Yeah, speaking of sub the love, if you wanna I don't know when exactly, but I really don't mind if you wanna share your channel in my live streams. Maybe at the end we could have like a window of time to share channels, and maybe like your channel and a bit about what you're about, just to you know, make some channels more known to people, because it happens all the time. Like I will talk up with someone and they will link me a video they found, and it's someone established that has been there for a while, and for some obscure reason YouTube doesn't recommend me their video even if it would match so well with the kind of stuff I like to watch. So I'm like, why don't you, I mean, this person has been around to garner like a good amount of subscribers, or sometimes not a lot of subscribers, and I'm like, why don't you link me this person instead of the stupid trending thing about, I don't know, God of War, or the latest thing that's trendy, and that I really don't have any, you know, you have like the stuff I like is here and this trendy thing is here, and there is like no overlap, nothing. So I'm like, instead of suggesting this weird thing to me, why don't you suggest this other thing that like overlaps a good bit of what I like? And I realized that's probably a bit pale to register on camera, but it's just like a stupid kind of Venn diagram. Anyway. Oh no. Bon. I'm not at the bathroom, but I still have to check on the laundry, so I'll be right back. Sorry, Mr. E is supposed to take care of the laundry, but is outside taking care of something else, so, yeah. Okay, whew. Sorry, I'm back. And actually the laundry gives me an excellent segue to start on one of the rants that I wanted to talk about today, because I'm so annoyed and so tired of this, but why are women clothing so freaking dumb? Like, no pockets, fake pockets, which is even worse, like super small hoodies that won't stay on your head, like they fall back all the time, winter coats that stop at the waist, and if you're lucky at the waist, like no protection for the midriff or the hips. What else? I'm sure you guys have some pretty stupid women clothing stories. What else is so super dumb? The sizing is overall super dumb. Trying to think. But yeah, no pockets is one of the classics. Like, you have jeans and they don't have any pockets, and you're like, well, you know what? If I don't want pockets, I'm gonna buy leggings. See? And if I want pockets, I'm gonna buy jeans. So get your stuff together, jeans maker, because this is silly. Oh no, he's not gardening, he's doing really nerdy stuff outside. He's spraying miniature with primer. Cutouts! Oh yeah, clothes with cutouts. I don't mind. I'm the kind of person who really enjoyed the grunge era in the 90s, and like, my parents wouldn't buy anything that would be grungy. So I've had this unfulfilled desire for things with holes in them all my life. So I don't mind a couple of holes in clothes, but not when it gets to be just, you know, the seams and the waist. That's stupid. Boob windows are stupid. Oh, hello, HerculePoirot. Hi. Have come shop in Germany. Everything here is practical. Oh, that would be so great. Oh, the cost! Yeah, good point. The cost of women's shoes and clothes in general. And underwear. Bras are insane. I cannot believe this stuff. The price that you can get for bras. Hi Sam. Sam is saying that he don't get thongs. Well, actually, I know people who prefer thongs to regular underwear, and I'm like, okay, fine. But as long as I can still buy the type I prefer, I'm good. I don't mind what other people wear, but it's the price. Like, why is a simple, I don't know why it's called a pair, because you only get one underwear, but like, it's a simple thing like black, and it's gonna be $10 for one of them. Like, this is insane. I wear this under my clothes, and I don't know, you know, underwear, they get to see all kind of weird stuff. And if you're a woman, there is at least one woman per month, usually, that, you know, has some sort of action going on. So underwears, they're more practical than anything else. So why is it $10 for one underwear? Otto saying that she prefers men's clothing and band t-shirts. A lot of girls are saying that they have... oh, hi Jacqueline! A lot of girls are saying that they've given up on ladies' clothes and either wear men's clothing or just, you know, more unisex stuff. Are men's undies really worse than women's undies then? Seriously? Like, I know it's expensive, like it's gonna be, what, $25 for 3, but at least you get a pack. Like, I don't know why they assume that ladies want to buy underwear in the singles and like all of them fancy. Just warming up by doodling like the default cat. Most unoriginal pose and features, but it's a good warm-up. No, buying a tube of paint for $20 ain't a problem, that's fine. I can see more purpose, more justification for a $20 tube of paint than I can see for underwear made cheaply in China by people paid ridiculous amounts. And I mean, not ridiculous good, ridiculous bad. And it's basically like just a... It's not a lot of fabric, you know, it's simple and it's so overpriced. And often it's in a fabric that is really not super awesome to wear on, you know, you have many nylon and all kind of synthetic stuff that is often more problematic than anything. So I'm super boring, like I really like cotton underwear, so there's that, but I'm always baffled even when I want to buy cotton underwear because you gotta pay like $30 for 3 and I'm like, yikes. Why? Why? Oh wow, 5 pieces for $10 roughly in Europe. That's really good. Oh, lace underwear. Yeah. You know what? I am not entirely sure women invented lace underwear. I wouldn't be surprised if it was invented to cater to someone else's gaze. You know what I mean? Because I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Yeah, we need pockets. Yep, pricey. You know, they're like £25 for a pack of 3. They're either all men underwear, like bed sheets, super uncomfortable, or meant for models. Cargo pants are cargo pants in English as well. Like the ones with all the pockets that were super popular in the 90s. And you could unzip them into shorts sometimes. Yeah. I'm always kind of stuck because men's clothing doesn't fit me super awesome and women's clothing doesn't fit me super awesome either. So I always try to shop for the most baggy stuff I can find. I'm like, well, that way it's gonna cover what needs to be covered at least. A lot of t-shirts have the problem of having a super tiny like tight collar around the neck, so that's uncomfortable and I often cut off the collars when that happens. What else? I'm trying to think of all the annoying stuff. Shorts. I freaking hate shorts and it's the summer here and I'm gonna have to wear them and I'm really unhappy about that. Socks that are not designed for people with super tiny ankles. Like, unless you're super tall and skinny, socks will always don't fit above the ankle. Like, it's super annoying. Eve, wear cat clothing, it will fit awesome. Ah, if I could. Puis ça a-tu marché? Cool. Ooh, nice. Oh yeah, I remember buddies. Super tight, like bodysuits with poppers at the crotch. I understand why it's like a bathing suit, because that way it won't ride up, and the buttons at the crotch are meant so that you can use the bathroom during the day, but that doesn't fit a lot of people, you know? That's like something that looks good on a very small percentage of people out there. Just join a club and get band clothing. I have a lot of band t-shirts, but I'm too fat for them at the moment. I need to take care of that first. Eve, be happy you don't challenge 190 centimeters heart mark, or you would hate all the long sleeves and pants for being freaking too short. You know what? If I were that tall, I wouldn't complain about it, because being short is a freaking pain in the butt. On so many levels, not just clothing. And you still have a lot more options that fit you well when you are tall than when you are short. Like, yeah, sure, sleeves are not a problem, or pants are not a problem. No, they're just all frigging too long anyway. And like, I have sleeves that go all the way there, and that's really useless, and pants is the same thing. Like, I like the skinnier pants just because I don't have to bunch them up at the bottom or risk killing myself by tripping into the extra fabric. So yeah, I know a lot of people who are tall and are like, being tall is sucky, and I'm like, no, being short sucks, seriously. I'm sorry, I can't feel bad for tall people, because I would much prefer to be tall than to be short. If only for the metabolic advantages of being tall. Jeebus. Being short has like 0 advantages. Just terrible. That's so cute, Cyan. Cyan is saying that she likes kids' clothes because she's short and skinny, so they are cheaper and all bright greens. That is so cute. Oh, but being tall is so much better. Being short is just terrible. Like, what's the advantage of being short? There is none. I'm 153 centimeters, so yeah. I'm accepting cut off donation on pants and sleeve. I would gladly send you mine. You can shorten too long. Yes, but nothing falls properly. Like, if you are short, let's say this is a short person's leg, okay? Just like, hey, I'm a shorty, awesome. So here you have the knees and here you have the waist. Okay, fine. And say you have a tall pair of jeans. Okay, this is like regular pair of jeans, but the person is super short. So yeah, you can trim this off, but the problem is that the knees on the jeans are there. So the knees are mid-calf. So it doesn't fit any better even if you cut it off. It's just, you know, like lousy. It's not good. Oh, hi, Heather. Yay, Heather is here. Hi. When it rains, you'll be the last to get wet. Is that an advantage? Well, not really. Like, and it's not because you're short that all the smaller stuff will fit you. Like, I am short and I have super wide shoulders for a short person, so I'm always stuck with things that don't fit anyway. So I don't win because I'm short. It's equally shitty. Oh, that's pretty awesome, Stefan. covers are mostly long enough. Yeah, but they don't fit. Nothing fits because you have like a short torso, small hips, and short legs. So say you buy a regular coat, well, the waist of the coat is on your hips, so the coat doesn't fit. And yeah, sure, you can hike it up, but then it bunches up like really unprettily at the top, and then you have like the bottom that's like an annoying length that doesn't match either. So nothing fits. Nothing really fits. Yeah, turned up jeans, same. And yeah, I almost killed myself so many times that now everything I own is either like skinny in the leg so I don't trip in it, or I sew an elastic at the bottom so I don't trip in it either. It's just, everything's annoying. You're closer to the ground, so it's easier to pick things. Yeah, but I have eyesight on butts all the time. My world is a world of butts. I see butts. Or like, you're always level with someone's chest, so you always look like a freaking perv when you zone out. Oh, hi Lee. Thank you. Yeah, I could get bicycle clip, but I prefer just to, you know, like the pajamas were a life changer. The fact that I decided to do some lousy sewing at the bottom and just stick an elastic in there. Like 100% less chance of getting a toe stuck in there and falling on my face. How high do you come up to Mr. E? Well, Mr. E is 6'3" and I'm 5 feet. 6'3", 6'3", anyway. So we have like a feet and 3 inches of difference, so my head, like I'm basically hugging his chest when I give him a hug. So yeah. Is that really a bad thing? Do you mean me tripping and falling on my face, or? Hold on, I gotta get rid of something in here. Dude, les peintures, ça pue là. Ah non, ok, je vais sortir. Au début, j'étais comme, ah c'est cool, ça sent pas, mais c'est en train de spreader, puis... Je vais ici d'abord. Okay, sorry about that. I'm not overweight, I'm under height, yeah. A butt world. Seriously. Especially if you are like climbing upstairs, you just... I know that everybody has this kind of a look on butts when you're climbing upstairs, but when you're short, it's just like... just butts all the time. If anybody farts, I'm the first one that gets it. Oh, hi, Victoria. Okay, gotta draw more cats. Boots are also terrible. Like any kind of, it's a bit like the sock problem. Like the sock problem is basically like, if you have a tall person, this is going to be their knee, say, and their ankle is going to be there, and they're going to have like all this length to distribute the muscles and everything. If you are a short person and your knee is over there and your ankle is the same way, there is a lot less length for all this stuff in there, so it doesn't taper as nicely. So when you get socks that fit nicely on a tall person, like they don't stretch here. That doesn't work. You have to fold them and wear them like this. And boots are the same. Like boots that are supposed to be tall, they never fit on like short person or bigger calves. Some short person are pretty skinny, so there's that. But I mean, I can only speak from my experience, and I'm not a skinny person, so like even ankle boots are problematic. So I've stopped looking for a high boot, unless it's a cowboy boot. Cowboy boots are still good. So yeah. Tall women are shopping for dancing shoes at sports shop in 2KX. Well, but what's the foot size? I don't have short feet even if I'm super short. I have like regular length feet, which I guess is better than having super long feet, but still. Oh, hi Malvina. It's much better to do it in the bath. Yep, farting in the bath. I'm channeling my inner Scout. Poor Scout, her allergies have been acting up and she's been scratching her nose and making like slashes in her nose and possibly her ears as well. You can't really treat like or question a cat about its allergies, so yeah. Yeah, size 11 for feet, that's kind of a bit tricky. I'm guessing you can always go into the men's shoes when you need like sports sneakers or something like that, but yeah, if you need fancy shoes, that's not gonna be easy. Hey Malvina, me too. I'm short and I really don't like it. It's not much we can do. Well, if you are super tall, is there an appeal to wear high heels anyway? Just curious because I've never really worn high heels. And have you noticed that men's shoes are so much better made? Yep. Move where you fit. Huh, not a bad idea. Though I doubt there is a place out there that has short, chubby people on a regular basis. Like short people, sure, but short and chubby? Yeah. I'm grabbing my snack, which is grapes. I don't have any sugary drink today, but I have grapes instead. Oh, Dan, I'm kind of bummed that you don't wear high heels. Yeah, I could move to Japan, but none of the clothes would fit me there because I'm too thick. Like, I'm sorry to say, but Japanese people are really tiny. I doubt that the large size over there even gets close to medium over here. Super, super small stuff. Okay, just curious because like I've never really caught on the high heels thing. I just feel like I'm gonna fall on my face. What was your other rant, Heath? My other rant was about complaining about the stupidity of student grade sets and crappy paints in general. Not necessarily directly related, but as I finished the Jane Davenport reviews, I was really like thinking about this stuff and seeing people often ask for recommendations about kind of good, cheap, inexpensive, light, fast, everything watercolor sets. That's basically not really a thing. I wanted to rant about this because I feel really annoyed that the companies are okay with selling out crappy paints to people. It takes space, it's really bad to learn with, and I don't know, I just disagree with the general reasons that are given for encouraging people to buy these things, like, oh, it's a good way to learn until you're good enough with your professional paints. But I mean, it doesn't help. You're gonna have to learn to paint again with the professional paints when you get there, because it's not gonna be the same. And you're trying to learn, so it's the steepest curve with tools that will not help you one bit. So I'm just super annoyed about this. Question: is the prevalence of obesity as bad in Canada as it is in the US? It is pretty bad. I don't think it is as bad, but then again, I have not a lot of information on the topic, but it is there since we are so close. There's definitely like some things that cross over the border. We're a bit helped in that I think there are some things that are not legal in Canada. Like the first example that comes to mind is about Heinz ketchup. I think in the US it's made with high fructose corn syrup, and in Canada it's I don't think they are allowed to do that. So our ketchup is made with just sugar. It is still sugar, but it's not as transformed as the corn syrup is. So there are a couple of features like that that are different, but yeah, it's so easy, and like the elements of culture that cross over easily are like the portions, the size of things. When I went to Switzerland a couple of years ago, I was so impressed because there was a more focus on you get stuff more often so it's fresh, so everything is a bit smaller. Like a loaf of bread over there was like the one I wanted, a loaf of sliced brown bread, you know, basic stuff. And it was a small thing, and you know, it's more fresh, it had less weird additives in them, and the slices were smaller, so when you make a sandwich, you don't have like huge thick slices. So it's just so different, and we don't have that here really. Like you still have the super size, super packed things that are insane. I don't know how you managed to stick it through reviewing all the Jane Davenport palettes. Well, it's done now, so yes, I'm happy with that. I will try. I will keep that in mind, Lee, that Corsica, Sardinia, or Sicilia are perhaps good choices. I'm a redhead, so I'm gonna, unless I go to Scotland, I think I'm gonna be a stark contrast of anywhere. But yeah. Oh, I wish Canadian ketchup was made with maple syrup, but it would be like $1 million for a bottle of ketchup. Was Switzerland nice? It was really awesome. I have a friend. I have a friend and an aunt that live there, so I mostly went to see my friend and to go to a comic convention. I think I mentioned it before, but yeah. So it was really great. Switzerland is pretty awesome, and the place where my friend lives is a super nice place. But it was so weird on many levels. Like they have kind of a subway, you know, like not the restaurant, the mean of transportation, but there are parts of it that are exposed to the outside. Like it's a bit like the subway goes in and out of caves in a way. So that was really interesting, and the fact that it's completely unmanned was really interesting. Like there is no manned booth. You get into the station, there is like a device, a kind of a booth, but just a machine, and you pay for your tickets. And yeah, you don't have to speak to anyone, you just pay for the tickets and you take the subway, and every once in a while some employees of the subway will walk in the train and check if you have paid for your tickets, but sort of they trust you to pay your tickets and not be assholes, which is really weird as a concept for me. It's not like that here. It's yeah, maple ketchup is just so expensive. Like, it would be great, but it would be so pricey because ketchup is so pricey. Not ketchup, but maple syrup. Oh, whoa. Heather, that's not good stats. That's not great. I'm so sorry. Oh no. Yeah, the thing is that I don't have issues with... the thing I take issue with is when a food is transformed, because I feel like food is usually meant to be consumed the way it presents itself. Like a good example of that would be juicing. When you juice a bunch of things, basically all you get is some of the vitamins and all the sugar in the fruit. But the fruit is sort of made to be eaten with its pulp, with its fiber. So the fiber helps counters all the sugar, and it makes it easier on the body to process. You don't overload one system with all the sugar. Suddenly you have everything like together. So I feel like when we start making high fructose corn syrup out of corn, we take something that is technically existing, but through the process of condensing it and making it into a separate thing from the rest of the corn, it's not clear what we end up with is super great for us, because corn is technically a whole thing in itself, so it's meant to be the whole thing, not just a part of it. So I feel a bit weird about these stuff, and even like I try to find sugar that is mostly natural. So the sugar I use the most is honey, because you don't have to refine honey, it's just there. The bees do the refining, but it's like a natural process for them. And even maple syrup, you have to take the sap and like boil it down so much that it's a bit like transformed. So I often get a lot more crash and high on, well, actually I don't get super high on maple syrup. I get just crashes, really bad crashes that I want to sleep when I eat too much maple syrup. So it's just weird. Like our bodies, they react to the stuff we eat, so yeah. It's just weird, the subway thing, because here it's really not like that. Like it's super gated, like you have the gates with the, the tourniquet thingy that you have to scan your pass and go through, and they are super controlling about this stuff. Like they don't trust the people to pay and take the thing, which is really weird. But that's the way it is here, and many other places too. Dan, that's a good one. Did you know if you weigh 14 stone on Earth, you weigh 5 stone on Mars? I'm not overweight, I'm just on the wrong planet. Like that. Yeah, honey is awesome. I really like honey, and I really like bees. So there's that. But yeah, I try not to... It's difficult because sugar is addictive. So even if I don't want to have any, it's kind of difficult to dodge it at times because your brain will trick you into getting it. Like you have your reason is one thing and your brain is the other thing, and they don't necessarily work together all the time. So Switzerland has the best French. Oh, good to know. Okay, so back to sketching. Yeah, I think someone suggested that I recommend good paints for beginners. It's really difficult to do because often people are like, hey, what are good paints for someone who doesn't have a big budget and wants to paint? And you're like, well, it depends so much on where you live, what is accessible to you, if you order online or not, because there are many good paints, and what will influence the choice is more a matter of where you live and what's your budget rather than specific brands. Like some people are super focused on one brand and they will only recommend that brand, but yeah, I'm not like that. Yeah, we have a beekeeper in the chat. That's so cool. Yeah, that's what I was... You know what, Dan? That's really funny because when you said that they had the best French, that's the first thing I thought of, is the way they count 70, 90, and 80. Because the rest of the French does it in a really stupid way. Yeah, so to the paints, I feel like you can have great paints, inexpensive paints, and what would be the third factor? Is there a third factor enough that I can make like this a third round? Anyway, like you don't often have super great paints that will be inexpensive. Most of the good paint will be expensive. The thing is, you don't need all the colors to learn to paint. So instead of buying perhaps something with, let's take the Jane Davenport sets again, but say you just buy the 2 first palettes she put out, because they are the ones that ultimately give you a split primary. Well, on the website they're still $40 each, so that's $80, which is ridiculous. Say you get them on sale, so they are $15 each, so $30. Okay, that's better. But you get 24 colors. For $30, you can get a primary set from Daniel Smith, or just about, you know. You might even be able to get their split primary set, the small one. And I feel like if you are serious about painting, having the Daniel Smith colors will be a lot more useful to you than these 24 colors from Jane Davenport. Because these have all kinds of mixes with white in it that are perhaps not the best to learn. They are not necessarily light fast, so that can bother some people. It's, you know, it's kind of just not ideal. Like, I feel like the Daniel Smith starter set is a better choice, but that's me. And you still have to buy a palette to put the paints in and all that. But yeah, it really depends. if you are a crafter, perhaps that these sets, the Jane Davenport ones, are really interesting. I'm really not sure. I'm starting to have a bunch of supplies that I don't use, and I'm not quite sure what to do with because they are a bit used, and often they might not have pans or palettes. They might just be like, you know, like just the pancakes. Like, ta-da, just a pancake. And I feel a bit bad throwing these away, but I really don't know what to do with them. So I've just been stashing them for now. They're a bunch of Cotman paints, because Cotman... Like, I like the plastic sets, and the plastic sets often only take the Cotman pans. So I've cleaned up quite a few palettes and have a bunch of just pancakes that I don't really know what to do. You might like to try xylitol instead of sugar. I've been off sugar since last August. Congrats. And xylitol did really help. Oh, good to know. I plan on trying like the trendy keto diet next week, and that basically has no sugar at all. So it's gonna be intense. Oh, cool. Good start is CMY, so cyan, magenta, yellow combo, or green, blue, cool red, warm red, and yellow. Green, blue, cool red. Yeah. Okay. I was like building it in my head. Yeah, and you can, like, I keep forgetting that Daniel Smith has 5 milliliters tubes also that are, you know, more affordable if you have access to them. So you can build up a small palette to try. That will definitely be a better payoff in terms of colors and light fastness than anything that the cheaply made sets will give you. The only one I really like is the Equifine, like I always say, because it's really, really inexpensive. They don't have to be inexpensive, just a good combination of PG1 paints, for example. What's PG1? Yeah, I'm the same. I have a lot of paints that I don't use, but I will use them eventually. Like, that's not a bother for me. I don't mind that. The issue I have is the paints that I have that I know I won't use and are just taking up space. Like, I wanna do something with them. The thing is that I'm not sure anyone would want them, but like, if anyone would want them and are willing to pay for the shipping, I will gladly send them over. Not an issue with me. But yeah, still collecting them in a box somewhere. Oh, hi, a little creative. That's Jen, right? Is that Jen? Or Lisa? Yeah, Dan says, I've tried diets, I've never found any that work. Same. I was able to get, like, to shed some weight a couple of years ago, but it was so intensive that it was not super sustainable. Like, I would go to the gym for 2 hours every weekday, and I would eat really low calories. And being a short person is sucky for that because your metabolism is really lousy. So like, when people are tall and like, well, I can eat what, 1600 calories on a diet, I'm like, well, good for you. I gotta eat 1000 if I want to lose weight. And that's really not a lot of food when you start counting stuff out. So not easy. Not easy. Okay, just catching up on chat. Keto is intense. I'm not sure it's really healthy though. I'm doing low carb and it's really manageable. Yeah, well, keto is low carb, high fat. I'm kind of I'm trying it, so I really have no experience with it, but I think that the low carb factor might be the one that makes the difference. So if I see that I have issues with the high fat side of things, I might switch it to like protein and then fat. But I want to see if having low carbs will have an impact. White nights are good and pretty affordable. If you can find them, they are really good. Question, do you have a feeling that you are not progressing enough in art? Yes, I do. I personally do. Do you have that feeling as well? Are any one of you doing the 30 by 30 direct watercolor challenge? I don't know what it is. I know that there's the watercolor month in July, but I don't know what the 30 by 30 is. Jacqueline is saying, Eve, I would love to have them to give to the schools. Oh, interesting. Yeah, the tiny brush from the Aquafine set is so nice. I'm short. How tall are you? Oh, a little creative. Did you tell me your name and I miss it? But I'm 5 feet tall. Oh, Cyan, that's... I want to say that's a pretty awesome thing, but I know that there might be like underlying issues or whatnot, but to be able to eat anything and not put on weight is something that sounds really appealing when you've been a fatty all your life. Okay, Stephen is saying I am high carb, but from mostly whole foods. That way you get the fiber and nutrients that also help you feel full. Yeah, that's important. The fiber, like, is part of it. I'm trying to catch up on the chat, but... Fat causes insulin resistance, but carbohydrates get the blame. I think they get the blame because a lot of carbohydrates will turn into fat if you eat too much of them, and they are not used for energy or fuel. What is LBP? Blood pressure? Oh, cool, Patricia. That's good to know. I have kind of not... I have a rather low blood pressure, so... Okay, it's where you paint every day, so you end up 30 paintings at the end of June. Oh, that's all. Okay. Oh, that's pretty straightforward. The keto diet was the only one that really helped my brother. Oh, good to know, Palmyra. I know it's not low carb, it's 5% carb of your total... It's 5% of your calories come from carbs, so the actual gram number will vary depending on the person. Oh, April. Okay, cool. April. 49. Oh, you are really Team Shorty. Aw. Okay, I'm struggling with space for my legs. Oh, Havoc just went psycho. She looked like she had a foxtail. Did you get the Renaissance? Oh yeah, that's why I was like a little creative. Where did I hear that recently? Because I've like met a lot of new people recently, so it's been all jumbled together. But now I know who you are. They haven't gotten here yet, but I will expect them like by next week. I will let you know as soon as I get them, for sure. I missed something in the chat. Can I? Okay, whew. Yeah, blood pressure can be affected by stress. Oh, it's direct painting, no pre-sketch. Oh, okay, so you... Oh, okay, that's interesting. That's a good spin on the project of painting each day. Hi, Lana. Oh, bye, Patricia. Thank you so much for being there. Oh, if I had known about 30 by 30, I could have possibly do that today. But I can still do it, right? Okay, let's... Let's just grab a new sheet of paper. Tape. Let's take the badass tape. Clunk! Sorry about the noise. It's pretty intense. Only watercolor, no underdrawing, no ink lines after. Heap, that's gonna be a mess. I think they're stuck in customs maybe. I will check. Kind of a big size. Maybe I should cut this in half first. Okay. Oh, hi, Carrie. So, yeah, April, I will check out the, when I'm done with the stream, I will check the parcel status, and I will, oh, that's kind of a, there's gonna be nothing left. Okay, maybe not this tape. Oh, okay, let's let's pretend that nothing happened. Okay, I think this one is more suited to my paper. Yeah, I have low blood pressure in general because my heartbeat is always super low, and I get I get blood pressure drops at times and I have to lay down for a bit. So I am not super worried. It's contemporary art. Yeah, it would be quite it might be fun to paint a scenery super thin like that. Now I kind of want to switch it back to the super big tape. Yeah. Okay. Question, is all blue painter's tape low tack? I really don't know if they're all like that. This is, I usually buy the 3M one. Oh, by the way, Otto, the one you sent me, the thin one, not the super thin one, but the thin one is really great. I'm gonna have to pester you for the details after. Because I like it. It's super great and in this sketchbook, since it's super small, I like to use it to make the borders. Well, this one was the larger tape, I think, but it feels like See, I kind of like being able to have the thin things on there. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Yeah. I have my thyroid regularly checked because of like physical issues with it, but it's always like my what's the test? Is it TSH? Anyway, the test for the thyroid hormones is always good. There is nothing weird going on with my thyroid up to now. I sometimes kind of wish that there would be something wrong, so you know why there are issues with something, but it's really just the fact of I have a slow metabolism and I'm short and I don't exercise, so I don't have a lot of muscles to help. So yeah. I'm grabbing a couple of grapes. No, I am not. Well, I shouldn't be. Not yet. There has been some thyroid issue in my family, but so far I'm not affected by them. So I meant to go into this directly with paints and cat hair, obviously. Yeah, it really sounds lousy. Thyroid issues are not great. I think they are fairly easy to take care of through medication, but yeah. Anyone still use old gum tape? I really don't like it, because you have to plan away a part of your painting that you will have to cut off, and it's just not practical for like sketchbooks and practice pieces, because you have to wet the paper, stretch it out, let all of this dry, and sometimes you just want to grab a piece of paper and paint on it. I'm gonna be using the white night paints I have. Still on frame? Good, good. No, I don't wish for health issues. I just feel like it's easier with health issues when they can be diagnosed and medicated. Like if you are to have health issues, I think it's preferable to have ones that are easy to fix. But the best is always to have no health issues. And yeah, my mom is in a similar situation and it's really not that great. So I'm really sorry for you. I hope hope you'll be okay. Okay, brush. Brush is Ultimo size 6. I think I'm gonna make it landscape and have some sort of sky. What a surprise! A sky! Ooh! Don't tell me. This is not like amazing paper, this is cellulose paper, so it's probably going to be a bit streaky. And the paints won't spread super nicely. But yeah. That's the White Knight, was it the St. Petersburg Leningrad set that I bought, and I've added 4 colors to it. So basically all of these is the set, and I've added these 4 colors because I need the magenta and the teal and the dark blue and the super dark blue, and they were not in the set already, though it has this magnificent green that is just so pretty. The only issue I have with this challenge is what are you supposed to do while everything dries? Yeah, I think with health issues, the most bothersome is not knowing. But yeah, the ideal is to be healthy. Oh, thank you so much, HerculePoirot. I'm glad you enjoyed the interview, the live chat with Steve and Marty. It was so fun to do. They are great guys, and they are really not stressy people. This is gonna cauliflower like crazy. That's okay. Let's just deal with it. It's kind of weird to be doing this when you are more of an illustrator than like a painter, because it's so like, well, I have to draw lines at some point, don't I? How am I supposed to go through all of this and not draw lines eventually? But yeah, this is an experiment, so let's see. Eep. Yeah, Carol, that's a lot of years to live with an issue you don't know you have. It can be really anxiety inducing because you're like, why is this like understanding is really good for diminishing anxiety. Oh no, Cyan, what? Well, you know what to do. You gotta block that person. Oh, this here? This is a, what's the word? It's a laparoscopic sponge. Is that the word? The nurse is in the chat. But yeah, it's just a kind of towel sponge that they use for surgeries. And since I have nurses in the family and a lot of nurse friends, I ended up with a bunch of these to use for dabbing my brush. And I like that I put them in the wash and reuse them. They're stained, but still good. They don't have to be pristine to serve as a sponge. Yeah, I go along the chat saying that Cyan, please ignore that person and ban them and delete their comments. Anyone who has time to be that negative in life is not worth it. So which one is this super awesome green? It's that one. I really love the White Night paints, they're great. There is one thing I had to do though, is I had to stock up on this green. I bought like 3 full pans of this green color just to have, you know, ready on call if I need it, because it is a really pretty green and I don't see myself not wanting to use it ever. And since they are one of the only few companies that offer it, I felt like I had to stock up and buy a bunch of it. I make a special wash of just these, yeah, Dan is asking if the colors comes out on the clothes, and I wait until I have a bunch of them and I make a special wash of just the sponges I use for painting. Laparotomy. Okay, cool. I never remember the full name of the sponge, but yeah, these are lap sponges or laparotomy sponges. I found a few in like a bag of stuff my aunt gave us when she moved to Switzerland, and I've been using them and enjoying them, and at some point I think Paula sent me some new ones. So I have a good stash of these and I really like it because they are great for painting. I don't think they are available outside of nursing and hospitals, but if you have like sometimes you have stores that will sell nursing supplies, because you still have people who are nursed at home and they need access to like the gloves and the supplies, so there's a chance you could find these sponges in there. But any kind of rag you have will work. I have all them, what's the word I'm looking for? You know the small towels you use to wash up? Like the small square ones? I have a couple of old ones that are like really old and I use them for the same purpose. Yeah, PG8 is lovely. It's not light fast, but I do a lot of sketchbook work and I do prints that I scan. So I'm glad that I can just grab these and have that lovely color accessible. You can basically go to the dollar store and grab any kind of like kitchen towels they sell, or washcloths. Ah, that's the word I was looking for. Yeah, old socks. Anything that is absorbent will be great. Oh, I still get stuff stuck on my brush, but it's mostly cat hair. Because... yeah. Oh, hi, Dread. Oh, that's interesting, Zoe. Why do you dislike the White Knight paints? I'm just curious because it's always interesting to see why people have a certain feeling about the supply or not. Like, it's the same with people who like Cutman. I'm always curious to see why they like Cutman. This is really not the best paper to use with a super absorbent brush like the Ultimo. A super, not absorbent, but you know, a brush that holds a lot of water. Because this paper doesn't take in any of it, but it's not like I planned this or anything. This is a really spontaneous endeavor. Sorry about that. The main difference I've been seeing using better quality paper and cheap paper is that with cheap paper the paint really sits on top of the paper, so it's hard to do layers, and you have to wait longer for everything to dry before you can attempt to do a good layering. Like here I'm trying to layer this on top of the rest and it's just not looking super great. Well, when I'm painting abstracts on the paper I use for abstracts, I really don't have any issues with piling on colors on top of other colors, even if it's not fully dry yet. I'm basically, well, this is definitely more like a sketch, but like a small village on a hill with a hill for the back. It's pretty simple, but it's yeah, the fact that I cannot like plan anything beforehand is yeah, thirsty brush, thank you so much. Questions. I can mix skin tone. You can't, or you can? They are so gooey. Yeah, they are gooey paints. That can be a good thing though, depending on what you want to paint. Oh yeah, that's true. Otto, congrats on your Daniel Smith Paint Showdown Season 2. That's pretty cool. This is so definitely a cadmium red color. It's so opaque. It's okay. It's not a fault, but it's a good way to spot cadmium colors is to check for the ones that are super opaque. Oh, I gotta ask you guys in the chat, but are any of you Gorillaz fans, and are any of you Gorillaz fans psyched for the new album? Because I am. I've been running the 2 songs they released on loop for for a day, and I think they came out like 2 days ago. I'm so happy. So happy. I really didn't like the album they did before that one. So having an album from them that I find good is pretty awesome. But then again, maybe I'm rambling on my own. Yay! Yay, Cyan! How do you like the new songs? Cyan is saying that she has the fan on and Bun Bun likes that, so he placed really carefully his fluffy butt right in front of the fan. It's so funny. See, that's something else that will happen often on cheap paper, is to have this kind of edge to a color. Well, I've been having more of it on a cheap paper, so I don't know if it's the paper, the paints, or me, but yeah. I'm not saying that I am a fan, because I am not, but that's okay. It's a pretty minor thing. Oh, yay! Glad to read that, Cyan. I really like the new songs too. They're so summery and cheerful, and I kind of really like the new guy. Like I missed on all the Gorillaz lore with the Humans album. Anyway, the one before, because I didn't really like it. So I just saw the video they did for the new song called Humility, and I was like, oh wow, that's pretty cool. And then there was the green guy, and I'm like, this is not Murdoch. Who is this new green guy? And I think it's pretty awesome. Yeah, I see you guys are talking about Patreon. It's really difficult to manage a Patreon, I find, because creating the content is something that is super important, and I find myself forgetting so often, and I hate when that happens. So I'm trying really hard to get myself to make more posts and provide content for the Patrons, but then again, it's kind of difficult because, like, for patrons, I see it myself, because I want to support a lot of people, but I don't necessarily have the funds to support a lot of people. But so many fellow artists have Patreons, and you kind of want to help all of them. But like, when you're limited in your resources, you cannot possibly like make it happen for everyone, and it can be kind of a guilt trippy to mention it all the time, in a way, because I feel like the people who feel bad that they can't give to your Patreon, it might not necessarily make them feel any good to be reminded all the time. So I'm not good with this stuff, so take my opinion with a super grain of salt. But yeah, it's kind of difficult. Oh yeah, if you want to remind me to post stuff on my Patreon, although that's something that would be really efficient, because I really honestly forget about it. And then, like, I keep a tab open on my browser so I don't forget as much. But with all the videos and all the comic book stuff and all the cat stuff and all the live stuff, eventually I forget. I'm like, I should have snapped a pic of this. I could have made a Patreon post about this progress, because it's been fun to do. And I always forget, and I hate it, because I'm like, you gotta find something to say. You gotta provide some sort of like, it's a bit like blogging in a way, the way my Patreon is set up. So yeah, and like, I don't do that many full illustrations, so I feel super bad for the people who are like who have the tier with process pictures of stuff, because I'm like, well, there are not that many process of anything. Like, when I do sketches in my sketchbook, there is no process of that. So perhaps I should do like sneak peeks of sketchbook pages on Patreon while the sketchbook is on the way, because I always do a video when I'm done. But yeah, I'm trying to find ways to use what I already do to make fun content for people on my Patreon. And I'm really trying not to give myself more work, because if I already forget about it because I have a lot of work, then it's not gonna help if I make it even more work for me to get material for Patreon. Yeah, exactly. Like Dan says that he feels the same. If he joined everyone's, he wants to, he'd be paying about £100 a month. Yeah, same thing. Like, I want to help everyone because I really appreciate the content that everyone puts out, but at the same time, I'm in a similar situation of having a very limited income. So yeah, so that's why Sub the Love is great. And yeah, someone remind me if I am close to ending the stream and forget about it, but really want to do this sharing and Sub the Love moment at the end of the live stream. So that's something I can do that can maybe help other people. But yeah, for everything that's cold hard money, it's really difficult because I'm not rich either. So just do like vlog posts. Vlog is something else because I have to film stuff and edit it and narrate it, but I can do blog, like pictures, lunch, cat stuff, tea breaks, lunch. It's gonna be quite something to do the keto food next week. But yeah, I will, like, I would do vlogs if I did anything worth vlogging about during the day. That's really not the case. I stay home and I paint, and my apartment is not super pretty. It's not well lit. My cats, they don't film super well because it's so dark in here, so yeah. It's it's a surprising amount of work to have these things like ready to share or to you know, post, because it's not always like, or you wanna film the cat doing something super cute, and the moment you take the camera out, they stop and they're like, huh, what are you doing? What is, no, no cameras, no. Like, no, but you were so cute, let me take a picture. And they're like, nope, denied, and they just leave. I will switch to a smaller brush. Try to work in perhaps a couple of details. Oh, thank you! Thank you so much, Lana. Uh-oh. Oh no, Jit, a storm. Oh, Cyan, do you have you considered like making yourself a routine? I'm pretty sure you have, but I'm just asking because I just caught on the conversation. It's really difficult to not have any structure in a day, and I completely agree, which is when bullet journaling and painting and YouTube channels are really handy because they give you something you have to do. So yeah, that can be something worth doing, or just if you feel uninspired by painting or drawing, just give yourself another like you've been wood burning things. We'll say you want to burn more tags for more spices, for example. Well, that's something you can do, and just having things to do that you can check off, like I did this stroke, it's really good for the brain. Yeah, Otto, you get it. That's that's the thing. Eve Paul, do you think you could paint winning lottery tickets? Maybe everyone would find one. I'm not sure what this is about. Work, paint making, watch everyone else's video. Yep, that's basically it, except for the work part, because making the videos is actually the work part in my situation. Yeah, a lot of people need a lot of structure in their life to get stuff done, and it's not for everyone. I completely understand that, but if you're someone who needs structures and it doesn't come from work or study or something that is sort of forced upon you, it's really difficult to create a structure. Though once you manage to do it, it's really nice and it feels really effortless. So yeah. Oh, that's interesting, Jacqueline. Thank you. So Jacqueline says, a Patreon comment, to her it's more important for the people she supports that is that she has interaction with them. Yeah. She would rather have live streams to just chat like we do here than several separate videos. Good to know. Yeah, Cyan, that's a good thing too. Pretend to be a full-time artist. But well, basically, you don't have to pretend. You just have to be a full-time artist. Like you create your own projects and you put deadlines and you try to make it happen. That can be a way to do things. A bit like we have with the Animal Artist Collective. But yeah, it can be super difficult to inflict that kind of stuff on oneself. So yeah, if the first thing you try doesn't work out, you gotta keep trying different stuff, because I know that from experience, I've tried many ways of structuring my weeks, and like most of them didn't take. Like I would try them for a couple of months, and after that it would just fall apart. Like at the slightest change in routine, I wouldn't be able to get back on it. So I had to modify and try things and figure it out through so many errors and mistakes that now I have something that works pretty well. And recently there was an interruption in the service in the way I work, but I was able to pick it back up like supernaturally. So I think I found a good way. But that can be super personal, so something that works for me might not work for someone else. And some people really prefer to have like a really vague outline of things to do in a week and be more spontaneous. That's also completely valid. But yeah, don't feel like you have to stick to anything other than what works for you. Oh! Oh, like I did with Tiffany's missing cat. They were missing, then they were found, so I should paint winning lottery tickets for people so they would find them and win. Oh, I wish that could be a superpower. I would not have any money problem then. Oh no! Heather, what have you done? What have you done, Heather? Okay, what is the Artist Collective? It's the Animal Artists Collective, AAC. I have videos about it on my channel. Denise from In Liquid Color has them too. Jennifer Charlie, Anita Gadzinska, I hope I didn't butcher her name. Shade from CD Saves the Day. There's a bunch of us and I always forget someone and I feel super bad afterwards. Val from Drawing with Fire. There's a Facebook page and we put a lot of info in the videos we do about it, but it's basically a collective that focuses on bringing awareness to some endangered species of animals. And we have a biome theme each month we do the challenge. And yeah, it's basically as a way of getting these animals more known, but also getting the artists more known. So we all contribute a painting from about an animal, about a certain biome each month that there's a challenge, and we make a video about it, and then we offer the paintings for sale with a part of the profits that goes to a charity. So yeah, I hope that wasn't too convoluted, but yeah. You have to try it out more often if it could be your superpower. Yeah, I should. I will try it out. I got no idea how that would... Well, it was weird with the cat things. Like, it was not... how can I say this? Like, it wasn't... Like, I had to wait for the proper feeling. It was like I didn't do it consciously, but I've been meaning to paint Desmond, the second cat, like for a few days. And like I say, it was the Friday. I said, oh, I need to paint Desmond. Maybe it will work like it did for Sunny. And I forgot to do it on the Friday, and then I forgot to do it on the Saturday, and then it was the Sunday, and I was like, okay, today I am painting Desmond, and he came back the day I painted it. So like, if this is a superpower, there's definitely a part of it that's about how I feel about it. Like, there will be a moment when I feel compelled to do it, and that's when it's gonna happen. You know what I mean? If that... Oh yeah, Cat! I forgot Cat. Cat from Meow Meow Kapow is also part of the collective. Like, I probably forgot like a couple more people, but if you go to the if you go to the Facebook page that Otto posted in the chat, and I will try to remember to put the link in the description if we don't keep the chat, but the Facebook page should have every artist listed. And they are all super good. So, yeah. I agree. The art is saying that they stopped working a year ago, and even if they don't have any fixed day plan now, if they don't have any fixed day plan, they are now slowly finding a rhythm. Yeah, that's it. You have to find your own rhythm, and that takes a lot of time. But once you get there, it's really great because you don't have to force yourself to do it. Like, it happens sort of naturally. Like I've been, it's a bit like building a habit, but it's an effortless habit that you don't have to really coerce yourself into doing it. So it's a great feeling. I'm really worried about Heather's mischievous plan. And by the way, guys, you gotta stop breaking me every time I reach a milestone. That's just not sustainable. It's gonna get to a point where I will feel compelled to send out a bunch of gifts. And that's just gonna completely break the point. Like, be counter efficient something words. I need water. Sorry. Oh. Okay, and food. This has got to dry a bit, so I'm gonna snack on my big bowl of grapes. So Stacy's saying that the neighbor's 5-year-old is standing in the driveway, crying at the top of her lungs. And I find it funny, not because a kid is crying, but because we have a similar situation here with one of the kids in the neighborhood. Like, the moment she steps outside the door, she starts crying. Oh, thank you so much, April. I'm glad that you like my small spontaneous painting. Okay, so a question from April. Do you use video editing software? That is why her channel is stalled. I don't know how to edit video. I do. I hate like a lady. Why do you say that? This is like the most unladylike ball of grapes ever. It's really big. I gotta finish all the food that is not keto friendly before Monday, so that means having a pretty humongous ball of grapes. Okay, so yeah, video software. I am lucky in the sense that I am familiar with Adobe Premiere Pro. I am unlucky in the sense that it's a pricey software. And since I am using Photoshop and InDesign, I pay for the full package, so it's kind of pricey. And it's definitely over my means. Like I can't really afford. Oh, I don't make the chewing noises. Good, really good. I was worried. Well, April, at the end of the live stream, I'm gonna make a small announcement, and it's something that we've come up with that we call Sub the Love, and you will be able to like share your channel URL with perhaps a line that says what you make videos about, so that people in the chat can see that and decide to go check it out and follow you if they want. Because like I was saying, if I can help financially for all the creators I like, well, spreading awareness and spreading the love, which is why we call it Sub the Love. But yeah, that's also a way to help. Like, getting more known is a way that will help your channel grow. I will roll away. There are plenty of editing softwares that are free, and that's what I used first when I did my couple of, like, really a few videos at the beginning. But it was kind of difficult because I was familiar with Premiere Pro, and it's really easy to use, seriously. And this free software was really good, but you have to learn something new entirely. And it was kind of difficult because I was having the clash of the two knowledges. But if you want to take a look at it, there are many good editing softwares that are free. And if you have no previous knowledge of this stuff and are willing to spend some time learning about it through tutorials or just experimenting, it's worth looking for them. I don't remember the name, but I think I googled something like free video editing software and did some research and reading just there. I'm rolling away to make for less chewing noises. What did you say, Dan? Did you know she's always on a roll? Oh, speaking of being on a roll. Well, while this is drying, I can show you the couple of paintings I made recently. Still playing with the paints. Yeah, the Adobe subscription is really, really expensive. So I made this one. Like, I really enjoy. I know that there's a glare because of the protective sleeve. Sorry about that, but I think you can still see what this is about. And there is some gold on this one. And this one. I really wanted to experiment with the more granulating paints I have, so that's... And some techniques I found with masking fluid, and, you know, the goal of these is really just to play. So there's that. And I also made these because I wanted to try having the undercolor again and the masking fluid and paint over, and always some shiny stuff because I love shiny stuff. Oh, hi Dory! Dan, I still need to send you the sketch of Dory. I'm sorry I haven't done it yet, but I will do it soon. Oh, welcome back, Paolo. And this one, I decided to try the silver foil for these, just to try something different. So yeah, basically just, again, playing, having fun, and getting more familiar with my tools. That's that. Okay, back to the painting, which is dry. Awesome. Oh, I'm glad you guys like them. I really enjoyed doing them, so it's always a... Reap, there was color on there. It's always a great feeling to see positive reaction to something you spend time on. But yeah, I think I would spend the time anyway because I am learning a lot. So yeah, definitely not a waste of time. I kind of hate, as much as I love the Ultimo brushes, I think I really don't like their small size brushes. Like, what's happening here? Why is this one not holding any kind of point? I mean, I get a smaller point on my size 6 brush than I do on my size 2. What's up with that? Yeah, it was a metallic foil. It was a gold or a silver foil. Rorschach would be so proud. Ah, I am so glad to make Rorschach proud. Like this is not a great detailing brush. What's up with that? Skoda, what are you doing? Yeah, Dan, yeah, you should try it. Just, I mean, you don't have to show it. That's the whole point of playing with paint, but I think what really made it work in my brain was after speaking to Otto a lot about it and realizing that you don't basically have to say, I'm gonna paint an abstract to paint an abstract. That was the thing that I was trying to have too much control on it, and when Otto introduced me to the idea of just playing with the paints and just doing like whatever on the paper, that's when it sort of found a place in my mind process. And truly, like some of the first ones I did, I used paper that had already marks on it because I didn't want to throw it away. It was like, if I'm just gonna try a brush or a color, I might as well do it on this paper. And yeah, that's when it really happened. Maybe I should try the ProArte Proline Plus, but I got a few nice, even the like I have a, where is it? Oh, there's a... Yay, summer flies are back. Yippee! Gotta love a good fly. Yeah, I think I might just try to buy the Skoda Ultimo in travel size for the small brushes. Like for the size 2, because it's a bit pricier, but at least they have a super nice point. They don't get all weird like the other ones. Oh wait, I had bought I did buy a new Ultimo to sort of check if it was a fluke, like if I had a bad brush, or if it was like the way the brush, all the small brushes are made, that is weird. But yeah, I think the travel ones are perhaps better at keeping their point. Yeah, I will perhaps try to write to them, but I've had this issue with the size 2, and I think another small one was giving me like grief. Yeah, this one. This is a size 1, so I know that it happens with small brush that you can get ones that are not great. So if you just take a look, these are 2 Escoda size 1 in the Ultimo range, and they definitely don't look exactly the same. Like this one on the left has a better shape than this one on the right. So I think they might have been messed up in transit, because Jackson sends them out in a nicely bordered and padded envelope, but they both got here without the caps on, so they might still get screwed up at that stage, because small brushes are really delicate. I have tried Versatile. I have a rigger that I really like. I don't know where it is. Anyway, it's somewhere. Is this the one? Oh yeah, that's the one. I think it's a similar one to the one Angela Fair uses. I really like this one, and I think I have a travel brush. I know I have a Kolinsky one. That's a Reserva. Anyway, they're really good, but yeah, maybe I should try. Next time I see a sale, I might grab one of the Versatile just to compare. But then again, I have quite a lot of brushes, so yeah, it's getting difficult to find reasons to get more brushes, because I have a bunch of them. I wish I had your guts. Okay, Paulo, you're gonna have to perhaps to tell me what that's about. Maybe I'm not part of that conversation, but I'm really curious about it now. Question, is the size 6 okay? Yeah, the size 6 is perfect. Size 6 is a really nice brush. And yeah, the only ones I've had issue with were the size 1 and size 2 in regular format. The size 2 in travel is super nice. Super sharp. I think my super sparkly brush rest is in the bathroom, because I washed it. Because there is no such thing as enough. There is something close to enough when you don't have room for them anymore. So yeah, I'm getting really close to that. I got a lot of brushes stashed far that way, and I have the buttload on my desk as well. Like really a lot of brushes. And it's not like you wear through them fast or something. Like brushes, they usually are good for quite some time. So yeah. So that's why I might try one, maybe what, a size 6 Versatile, or maybe small Versatiles if I want to have inking brushes. But I got these ones not too long ago. So 2 are from Raphael. They're Kolinsky Problem with Kolinsky is that it frays super fast though. This one is weird. Look at the brush handle. What's up with that? But it's a Winsor & Newton rigger in sable. I apologize for the clearing of throat. Ultimo. So the size 1 I'm using and a size 0. And then I got an Isabe Kolinsky rigger. And these are super great, super awesome. Princeton Taklon. A super cheap thing, but I love Taklon. It's really good. So yeah. I keep missing Paulo's explanation. Like all I get is the messages from Paulo, and they all don't make sense. There was the one about the guts, and now that is getting weird, and I'm like, what's happening? How come that Chinese brushes are not that pricey even with real hair? I think it's often inexpensive hair like goat. And I've had experiences with calligraphy brushes that really stink. They really smell of the farm, if I can say that. So I think that there are corners cut at some point. But they are not bad brushes, but I've had a few that really smelled strongly, and I've also had a few that were quite expensive, so it really depends on where you get them, I guess. Stiff, soft dichotomy of brush hair. Yeah. Pomera saying that they find that every brush handles so differently, so every time they try to get a new one. So every time I try to get a new one, I hadn't tried yet. Okay, usually around size 6, sometimes 8. Yeah, that's a good size. Oh, okay, cool. That explains. Okay, so this is okay, this is a bunch of slightly soft houses. That's okay. I won't hold it against them. Like, they are not the most accurately constructed houses I've seen. Perhaps they're just soft houses. You know, like the one they get for kids to jump in. It's a bunch of bouncy houses on a hill. I would like to say that Arches paper is meant to be destroyed in a way. Like, if you learn to paint on a cheaper paper, you're gonna have to learn, with the plan of switching to better paper eventually, you're gonna have to learn to paint all over again. So of course in the process of learning you're gonna ruin a couple of drawings, but if your Arches paper is not like physically destroyed, if you just don't like the painting that's on it, you can use it for abstracts. You can, you can just keep it and then eventually paint all over it and try to use the marks you made first to turn them into something else. Like, even if it's a portrait, you can flip it upside down or put it on the side and just try techniques that you are not familiar with. Say, well, I want to see if I can remove most of this drawing without destroying the paper. So you try your lifting technique. And if you will not be able to remove everything, but then if the paper is still good, you can go like, oh, I'm gonna turn this into an abstract painting, or I'm gonna try this brush and staining colors on this paper. So even if, like, the good thing about good paper is that it can have mini lives as watercolor paper. Like, it can be used once for something, and if that thing doesn't work out like you want, you can reuse this paper for many things, and it's gonna take a lot more abuse than cheap paper. Dan says, so I'm abstract? If I turn on my side and I might look better? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, Heather, that's the good point. Running water and a soft brush can remove an amazing amount of paint. Too much scrubbing or water can destroy it or remove too much sizing, but can be worth a try if you're out of other options. And yeah, lifting is something that we don't often get to practice. So if you are to throw away a piece of paper, see if you can find more uses for it beforehand. There's a cat hair in my brush. When they were younger, the cats, I think it was Pecco, but they are not allowed on this desk. They don't really have reasons to come here. It's not on the way to anything interesting, so they don't jump on this desk. But they're curious, so when they were younger, at one point Pecco tried to jump on the desk and she started chewing on the brushes. And she got told off pretty quick. Like, nope, I know you like real fur and real hair, but these are not chew toys. So we have to check them because cats can sometimes enjoy chewing on brushes. Which is not good for the brush or the budget. The one thing I really dislike of small brushes is mixing colors. It's completely inefficient. It takes forever and you mess up your brush in the process. So yep, not a fan. Nope, this is definitely not. So I'm trying to make this woodland area a bit more detailed, but doesn't layer super nicely on this paper. This is cellulose paper, 140 pounds, so it's not ideal. And I am using the paint kind of thick, so that doesn't help much either. But I think I'm mostly done. It's Fabriano paper, but rebranded by my local art supplies store chain. It's probably the equivalent of the Fabriano student paper. Oh, Havoc is in the sink sleeping. That is so cute. I hope you're sending me those pics as well, Heather. I want to see the cute cat pictures. Alright, so that's... Wonder if I can try peeling the tape off right now, or if it's gonna rip. Oh yeah, I want that. Heather, is there is there a reason you haven't made a special page just for your cat picture? Whether it's on Instagram or Facebook or I don't know what, but it would save you from having to send them personally to a bunch of different people. Big wad of tape. Okay, so technically we are day 2 of 30 by 30, right? So, yeah. Well, can you have groups on Instagram? Or is it on Facebook, Otto? Alrighty, so that's mostly done. That's still really juicy. And then a bunch of cats just to warm up. Or just to make sure that this stream has cats in it. So it's an actual Caturday Livestream. Yeah. So there I am for today. Now is the time to spread the love with Sup the Love. So yeah, feel free to, like I said, share your channel URL and with ideally some kind of line that describes a bit what you do, because you can't really sell yourself by just throwing out the URL like that. So yeah, short tiny description and one-line description and URL, and feel free to share your stuff in the channel. in the chat, sorry. Sub the love, sub the love, sub the love, sub the love. Boop 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 boop. Oh no, they can't post URLs. Darn it. There goes my super plan. Crapola. Well, anyway, say if you're in a chat, people can access your channel by using your messages anyway. So you can just type the hashtag #subthelove and add the line about your channel, and people can then hover over your name and access your channel. How about that? Is this the jingle for #subthelove? Thanks, Otto, for explaining how to get to people's channel. So yeah, just hashtag #subthelove and you can just write what your channel is about after that. So people will know to check you out. Whoop, 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 whoop. Aww, oh no, Cyan. That's a bummer. Aw, thank you so much, Otto. That's really nice. So we have our first one, Dan. Check out Dan's page. He has some pretty cool videos about watercolor painting and making paints and experiments that don't work out. And then we have April from A Little Creative, who has just opened a super cool Etsy shop to sell Renaissance paints to the rest of the world, and she also has cool videos. And we also have Lana in the chat, who does speed paints of animals. #subthelove is kind of the hashtag we made up at some point. I think it was during one of Val's live stream, but it was about, you know, sharing the love and possibly like bringing channels to people's attention so they might decide to subscribe to them if they want to. So it became like share the love and subscriptions and #subthelove. So it's kind of a way to just share what you do, and sometimes like YouTube is not a good place to learn about this stuff. Like it doesn't show you the things you love. So by having the #subthelove hashtag, it's just a way to get to know more people. And we have HerculePoirot, #subthelove. They are on DeviantArt with quite a few watercolor, paper and watercolor brand reviews. The DeviantArt username is Leochi, Leochi. And yeah, I've seen, I'm fortunate enough to own one of HerculePoirot's paintings, and it is lovely, and they paint really beautiful things, so check it out. So yeah, if anyone else wants to share what they do, you just write hashtag #subthelove, then what you do. And people can either access the channel through the way the chat is made, or Otto will kindly repost the URL. because it's a good way to find out about more people who do the stuff you like, because yeah, we can't trust YouTube for that. Yeah, well, sharing is awesome. And I mean, a lot of us are here because we want to be part of a community, so let's make this a community. An actual community of people, not just a bunch of solo people working their own angle. Like, it's just ridiculous the number of channels I found through word of mouth that I'm still angry at YouTube for not showing to me. Like, I consume a ridiculous amount of videos about painting and painters and stuff, and there are still, like, at least once a month I stumble upon a page of someone who's new to me, and I'm like, well, they're not new to YouTube, they've been there for 2-3 years, and how come I've never heard of their stuff before? So yeah. And Otto, you gotta plug in your own stuff as well, because you're my awesome mod and friend, and yeah, and you do amazing work. Otto is pretty awesome. She does really pretty paintings and has really informative videos comparing paints on her channel, and like is super thorough with tests and stuff. So if you want to have a good look at all the features of a paint, or there was the Daniel Smith Color Showdown series that was really cool, because she would take two paints that are either really similar or are often like mixed up, like people confuse the two, and she did like full page of tests to compare them, and it was really awesome to see the results. Oh yeah, no, Malvina, go ahead. You might not be able to provide the link yourself, but you can give us your username on Instagram and people can then check it out. Oh, Paulo. Aw. I wonder, Paulo, I think I might have subscribed to your channel. Even if you don't make videos. Yeah, Malvina is really cool. She paints these really awesome patterns for fabric, and it's really amazing to watch because it's not something we get to see often, but like to have the pattern come together and then the fabric and the things that are done with the fabric, that's really cool. And she also has Zygmunt, the magpie. If you remember, I had drawn Zygmunt as a baby chick, and he was like hairless on the head, well, featherless on the head, and like a stubby little body. So yeah, I mean, I think everyone in this community, everyone in the chat is really awesome, even if they don't do videos, or if they are not interested in sharing their content through the sub the love moment. But yeah, it's also great to share what we do, because I remember in the beginning, and it's really hard, and you feel really alone, and it's kind of great to not feel that. Sorry. I think there are two reasons to sub to a channel. Either because the person, and they're not mutually exclusive, you can have both, but one of them is because the person does great videos, and the other is because the person is awesome, even if they don't do videos. So sometimes they might be awesome and do videos, which is like a super good deal combo breaker. And sometimes they are they have really awesome videos, but you don't really know them personally. Like perhaps the bigger channel, like someone like Tyoichi, who has great videos, but you know, like you don't really subscribe for him as much because you don't know him. But yeah. Alright, so is there anyone else who wants to share their page, whether it's Instagram or their channel or something? Because if there is not, I will bring this to a close. So it was a fun experiment to do this painting without any sort of preparation. Like I didn't even plan to do this, like you saw me, I just went, hey, I could do this, let's grab some paper and do this. So I went with something that is really simple and easy to just put together. But it was a fun sort of benchmark, because it can make you realize, like, am I able to do this kind of spontaneous thing, or do I need to practice more and study more before I'm able to do this kind of stuff? So yeah, it's a good one. I don't think you missed anyone, Otto, but they will tell you. Yeah, the proportions are great. I kind of like using tape to frame off stuff, obviously. It's been a staple of my paintings ever since I took the class with Nathan Faust, who does that. And I was like, instead of having like a crummy border all not pretty. But yeah, this is fun. It's a great way to work a painting. And I guess it leaves room for framing it. Assuming one would paint something like this on actual good paper and want to frame it, like you have plenty of room to frame it up. So yeah, alright, so thanks a lot guys for being part of this live stream. As always, you've been amazing and super fun, and I really... oh, there is one last sub the love. Hi Emma. Glad to be keeping you company. I really gotta figure out what the delay is like, because it feels like it is super long. Nathan Faust, hold on. This is a huge bottle that hides all the... But yeah, I see that there is Emma and Rhiannon have shared their infos as well. So can I get some... okay, scrap of paper. Nathan Faust. He is a really good painter, and he's worked in the animation industry for a super long time. And he has a class on schoolism about painting with watercolor and gouache. Okay, there was a Rhiannon Stefan who shared her Instagram, and Emma D, if I remember correctly. I will, hold on, I will pop over here. Alright, so thank you very much guys. I will finish up a bit in the chat, and I will leave this time to because like with the delay, I will have a bit of an empty moment here just to give time to the chat to finish, to the stream to finish, and then I will end it. So thank you very much for being with me today, guys. Hopefully we'll see each other again next week, or maybe before that if I have something awesome to share with you guys. But otherwise, have a great week and take care. Bye bye. Oh, yeah, last thing. Thanks, chat. You guys are awesome. Thank you very much, Otto, for being my awesome mod again. And, yeah. Peace and sub the love. Bye-bye.